Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to welcome you to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. If you want daily financial news and commentary from a black perspective, you should subscribe to theblackfinancialchannel.com. I'm here doing some other stuff, but I thought I would chime in real quick on the Black Financial Channel to let you guys know what's going on. I want to warn you guys about some of what I've been reading about the economy. The big concern about the economy, and I'm going to read an article that kind of illustrates this. The big concern about the economy is the word uncertainty. And if you know anything about economic models, which I've studied those things for many, many years, you pretty much, uncertainty is another word to describe risk. Or not all risk is directly linked to uncertainty, but uncertainty is a form of risk because you just don't know what's going to happen. And when there's risk, prices drop. Economies don't tend to do well in risky environments like the ones we have now. So I'm going to read this article on CNBC. JP Morgan Chase, the CEO, Jamie Dimon, is kind of a superstar right now because JP Morgan Chase had record profits actually during the pandemic. And a lot of it was due to the fact that as Dimon saw and his team saw, and as people like myself saw, the pandemic was a great time to trade stocks. It was a time where there was the opposite of irrational exuberance, which is irrational fear. When there's irrational fear, people start freaking out and they start giving things away cheaply. And if you were smart enough to sort of know which companies were undervalued and overvalued, you could make a lot of money in this pandemic market. And I felt almost guilty about it because there were people, and I tried to sort of tell everybody, look, this is actually a really great stock market because you got great companies, blue chip companies that are trading at an incredibly low rate. And once the coast is clear, these prices could easily recover. Some of you heard it and some of you didn't. And so I congratulate those who heard it in the sense of, in the sense of sort of realizing that you made money for the same reasons that JP Morgan made money. JP Morgan Chase, they don't get caught in the emotionality so much of what's happening. They just respond and look for the opportunities. And in every environment, if you are an investor, if you are a wealth builder, just understand that there are possibilities and opportunities in every situation. And so freezing up and sitting still and not moving is not usually the best way to respond to a tough situation. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'll kind of give you some insights on it. Basically, they said that the range of outcomes for the economy in the second half is incredibly wide. JP Morgan Chase sees no fewer than 5 different paths it can take. The bank has gotten more pessimistic, seeing unemployment as its default base scenario hitting nearly 11% by the end of the year, 4.3% worse than it was. Well, let me turn this thing off. Sorry, my phone. Someone called me just now. You guys on Instagram are on my phone, so I had to turn this off. Sorry about that. Let's see here. He said 4.3% worse than when it made the same forecast in April. In a worst case scenario where the virus surges further in the fall, forcing another round of widespread shutdowns, unemployment could peak at roughly 23%, the bank said. The word unprecedented is rarely used properly, Dimon said this week. This time it's being used properly. It's unprecedented what's going on around the world, and obviously COVID itself is the main attribute. So he says, attempting to forecast the past of the American economy right now is like peering into a dark well. Even JP Morgan Chase, the veteran prognosticator of all things financial, is flummoxed. As head of the financial system's bellwether, a bank with a $3.2 trillion in assets that serves almost half of U.S. households and a wide swath of its businesses, Diamond has a unique vantage on the world's largest economy. Quote, the word unprecedented is rarely used properly, blah, 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 blah. More than 4 months into the pandemic, the financial damage wrought by the outbreak has yet to fully register. Take JP Morgan Chase, for instance. The bank added $15.7 billion to reserves for expected loan losses in the first half of this year, but second quarter loan charge-offs in its sprawling retail bank actually declined 3% to $1.28 billion, or roughly the same level seen before the virus. That's because the $2.2 trillion CARES Act injected billions of dollars into households and businesses, masking the impact of widespread closures. As key components of that law begin to phase out, the true pain may begin. As many as 25.6 million Americans will lose enhanced unemployment benefits by the end of July, and it's unclear if Congress will extend the $600 per week in additional payments that has buoyed so many households. I think that with Congress, what you're going to see when the new stimulus is laid out, and I believe they're going to pass something. Their deadline, I think, is August 7th. That's when they go on recess. I believe they're going to pass something before then. I know what the Democrats are arguing for things that make sense. You know, they want more of a stimulus. They want more guarantees economically. The Republicans are basically saying that they want incentives for people to actually go back to work, and they don't want you to make more on unemployment than you made on your job. And I'm not here to ethically decide whether or not that's a good or bad thing. That's up to you. What I am going to say is that the government can't afford to pay you more to be unemployed than they can pay you, or than you can get paid to go to work. That I don't know what kind of economy that creates. But at the same time, if you want to look at, just to be fair though, if you look at the economy that you have and the massive deficits that you have, that was driven by Republican initiatives. That was driven by their extensive efforts to take care of wealthy people and the rich. And their argument always was one based on trickle-down economics that says, if we take care of rich people, then they're going to take care of poor people because the rich people are the ones who create the jobs. And that's just not true. Wealthy people and business owners, they do create jobs, don't get me wrong, but they don't take care of poor people before they take care of themselves. They don't care more about your financial security than they care about their own financial security. So what will happen is, unfortunately, this happened a lot during the first stimulus package. A lot of wealthy companies that were making more money during the pandemic than they were making before the pandemic. Not every company got shot down during the pandemic. Some companies quadrupled in revenue because suddenly you were sitting at home all day instead of going to work. So if you had a digital business, you were actually making more money during the pandemic than you were making before the pandemic. So if you were making more money during the pandemic than before the pandemic, then why the hell do you need a government subsidy during the pandemic? Like, why would you need that, right? But the thing was that the government didn't take the time to figure out the difference between companies that needed the money and companies that didn't need the money. Also, so what happened was these companies got this money. Here's another funny little sad fact that occurred. So if you're struggling, if you're a poor family that's barely hanging on, barely paying the bills, and you get a $1,200 stimulus and you get $600 a week in unemployment, chances are you're pumping that money right back into the economy, right? Because you got to spend, you got to pay bills, you got a mortgage, you got a car note, you got to whatever, right? You got the baby need a new pair of shoes, right? So you're spending, which is exactly what's supposed to occur. You're spending that money. Corporations that have plenty of cash flow in reserve are not going to necessarily go spend that money. What are they going to do? Go out and hire 500 new people, not knowing if they're going to have enough business in the future to even need those people? What are they going to do? Go make a bunch of infrastructure investments and upgrade their facilities when they don't know if they're going to have the same revenue in the following quarter that they had before? No, they're not. You know what they're going to do? They're going to do what anybody does when they want to be financially secure and to protect themselves. They're going to stack that cash. They're going to sit on it like a goose sitting on a golden egg, and they're not going to pump that money back into the economy at all. So a lot of that money, a lot of that stimulus money was wasted. A lot of it was wasted because the people they gave it to, some of them didn't even use it. They said, okay, thank you very much. I'm going to put this with the rest of my stash, and I'm going to leave my stash over here so that I can be okay, right? So what has to happen this time with this new stimulus is I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a little too old fashioned for some people, but I believe people should be incentivized to go to work. I believe a man and a woman, really men and women, but mostly men. I don't think a man's going to be up to any good if he's just sitting around doing nothing all day and getting into gambling and whatever, drinking and drugs because he don't have to go to work. I believe men have to have a sense of purpose, and I believe women have a sense of purpose as well. Their natural, some part of their natural sense of purpose comes from having children and a household to take care of, but then also they may want more of a purpose by going out to work every day. So whether you choose to stay home or go out to work, I think that's fine either way. But for men, I think there's nothing good that comes when a man is sitting at home with nothing to do. I just really believe that. I believe that's a good way to get into some like ridiculous stuff that isn't going to make your life better. That's why when you see high unemployment, you tend to see overdoses from opium because people are sitting at home getting high all day. You see increases in alcoholism because people are sitting around getting drunk all day. You see increases in domestic violence because you're sitting in the same damn house with the same people, and eventually you get tired of looking at each other. Next thing you know, somebody done got punched in the eye because the husband's drunk and he's pissed off because he doesn't have anything to do. So I think that incentivizing people to go back to work is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So I think I support the Republican idea on that initiative. I think $1,200 in a one-time payment is almost a joke. It should be monthly, some sort of monthly thing. What am I going to do with $1,200 one time if I live in New York City where my rent is $2,000 a month? I got to pay rent next month too. So one check is not going to do it. But I do think at the same time, while it should certainly increase those payments to those who are really sort of knee deep in the struggle. I think that in terms of businesses, you have to sort out the companies that need the money versus the companies that don't. So companies that saw a big drop in revenue probably do need a lot of stimulus, and it doesn't have to be grants. I think it could be loans, just financing to help them get through the crisis. Provide an incentive for them to bring their workers back. Give them extra money if they bring their employees back on board. To find some other line of business or some new way to survive in this unprecedented situation. But I also think that we got to kind of quit freaking out over a situation where there's the virus that has a 0.1001% chance of killing you. I think that that really going out every day believing that stepping outside your house means you're going to die. You're being dramatic. Stop being a damn drama queen. Just put your mask on, socially distance, wash your hands, carry your sanitizer. You're not gonna die. Stop it. Sure, people will die, but I live in Chicago. People die every day from gunshot wounds, but I don't get up every day thinking, oh my God, I might get shot today. I just go through my life, and when I see somebody shooting, I drive in the other direction. So anyway, let me keep going. My dad watches you. Tell your dad I say hello. Tell your dad I say he's a real man. I respect real men. All right, so let me keep going here. Do me a favor, by the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button, make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. We do daily financial news and commentary there. Also, you can follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram. So follow on Instagram. On Instagram, every now and then I'll throw out some stocks that I'm looking at and stuff like that. Some things that'll help you because I want to see you win. I want to see you make money. I want to see you do better. So I'm here to support you in every way that you want to be supported. All right, so let me keep going here. So the bank, this is JP Morgan Chase. The bank had forbearance on 1.7 million accounts. So far, more than half of credit card and mortgage customers in the programs have made at least one monthly payment, but these vulnerable customers could stop paying altogether as their federal benefits lapse. So the clock is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. The real economic bomb of the pandemic is about to occur. I would say that the Fed, by being so aggressive in their actions, gave us almost a version of economic opium that numbed the real pain. And now your drugs are about to wear off. Now the medication's about to wear off and you're about to really feel that pain. And the only way to avoid that pain is we got to find a way to move forward in a world where we know that the virus is out there. It's just, it's a rock and a hard place. It's tough decisions. I don't know if hiding in your house forever is going to be the optimal solution. I know, for example, in our school district, they did something I thought was brilliant. They told the parents, look, you have a choice. You can send your children to school for half a day, or you can keep them at home. We're going to leave it up to you. But if you send your kids to school, you got to sign a waiver that you're not going to sue us if your child, catches the virus. Well, you know what? Alicia and I are signing the waiver, and we're going to send our kids to school. They're going to have their mask. They're going to be socially distanced. There are all these new rules in the school now. They're going to have hand sanitizer. We're going to keep them as safe as possible, but we don't feel that them going to school is going to cause them to die. Now, could they get the virus? I don't know. I personally believe millions of people are going to get the virus. That's what I really think. I think a lot of people are going to get it, and some people aren't going to be able to fight it off, right? So maybe that is an incentive to work on your immune system. Maybe it's an incentive to think about what we eat. Whatever. Alicia makes me take Emergency every day, especially when we're on the road like we are right now. But we're going to live. We're going to keep going because we need our kids to get educated. We need our kids to go to school so that we can continue to move forward with what we're doing in our careers. I'm tired of sitting at home all day long doing nothing and just waiting for the government to decide what our next move is going to be. I think that we're going to have to get used to living in a world where that virus is out there, because even when the vaccine comes out, everybody ain't taking the vaccine anyway. A lot of you. I took a survey, and on my platform, I think 90% of you said you won't take the vaccine. And I think some of that's logical. There's a lot of reasons why people don't trust vaccines. I don't get flu shots every year because I read up on the flu shot and found that it almost never works anyway. The type of flu virus, the strain that you get is almost never the strain that you're actually protected against. So you're selling me insurance on a Toyota when I'm actually driving, I'm driving a Ford, so I don't know if that makes sense or not. But anyway, so here's what else is going on. Coupled with I'm going to read more of this article. Coupled with the historic steps taken by the Federal Reserve to prop up financial markets, several banks actually had a banner quarter. JP Morgan earned the most revenue ever in the second quarter, $33.8 billion, largely driven by a boom in trading activity and a rush by corporations to tap debt and equity markets. See, that's some of the stuff that needs to stop, right? I don't enjoy the idea that JP Morgan Chase can scoop up $33 billion in a quarter where there were people out here that, can't pay their rent, right? I don't like the fact that Jeff Bezos' wealth went up $20 billion or whatever it was during a time where, so the economic certainty was so high. I would completely support the idea of making Bezos or JP Morgan give several $billion to take care of the people at the very, very bottom of the economic totem pole. Now, mind you, though, I'm also a realist. I'm a realist in the sense that I want you guys to understand there's a reason why a Jeff Bezos is making money when everyone else is losing. It's for the same reason that I'm part of the TSP mastermind that Lamar Tyler runs. Lamar Tyler runs Traffic, Sales, and Profit. And I talk to Lamar, and I hang out with Lamar, and I hang out with a bunch of other black self-made millionaires. I'm not talking about celebrities. Screw the celebrities. I'm not talking about people born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I'm talking about black folks who were born in the hood like you and I were, who rose up, who made strategic decisions and put themselves in a good economic situation. And I can tell you that it's not just the white billionaires that were able to find a way to do well during the pandemic. There are lots of black people, regular people like you and I, who made a killing during the pandemic, who made moves, and so just to give you kind of a summary of this, I actually had this program I did with Damon Dash, and it's still out there if you guys want to go look it up, feel free. It was called Intelligent Boss Moves. Intelligent Boss Moves, IBM. And the reason I called it Intelligent Boss Moves is because I told Dame, I said, here's how I came up with the name. I said, I came with the word intelligent because I believe that every black person needs to be intelligent and strategic in their decisions. Boss, I put the word boss in there because I believe that you do better in life when you think like a boss, when you think like an owner. I believe black people, it's okay for you to be an employee, but you should be the boss of something. What are you the boss of, black people? Like, what are you, where in your world, where in your universe do you look around and say, I am the boss of this, right? Maybe it starts with your household. Maybe it starts with your children. But also, do you own some property? Do you own a few shares of stock? You can buy stock. You can start buying stock with $10 right now, right? Do you own a business, even if it's a little raggedy business, right? Every business starts off raggedy. Have you seen Amazon? Have you seen the pictures of what Amazon looked like when Jeff Bezos started it, where he had this little sign that damn near looked like he wrote it in crayon that he put up on his wall to represent the company that he said was one day going to be worth $1 billion. And then so the words were intelligent because you got to be smart, boss because you got to be the boss of something. Everybody needs to find a way to be the boss of something, and then moves. Moves is critical, especially during times like this. Moves means that the people that tend to be most successful are the people that are always making moves. Like, so what moves are you making, right? People that get scared and live in fear, they freeze up. They just sit there, like eyes wide like a deer in the headlights, and they get slaughtered, right? You can't do that. You can't sit still. And I think that my challenge with some of the rhetoric around the pandemic was they were basically telling people, look, you sit there and just be scared and wait for further orders, and we're going to be out here making moves. We're going to be out here making money off of you. We're going to be making moves on your behalf, right? Because the media, one area that made a ton of money, one industry that made billions of dollars during the pandemic that nobody's talking about is the damn media. Do you know how much money the media made by investing in coronavirus-related stories? CNN has an entire podcast called Coronavirus Podcast or something, like literally. And they're selling sponsorships to these podcasts. They're selling advertising slots and making billions of dollars off of this. So it doesn't mean that they're lying to you or that the stuff is BS. It just means that they have a vested interest in you being afraid and you sitting still. And so in a capitalist society, which is what we live in, you've got the active wolves and the sharks that are making moves, constantly making moves. And then you got the sheep who are just sitting there for slaughter. Most capitalist engines require fuel. Sometimes that fuel involves human beings. It might involve your labor. It might involve your attention. It might involve your children, right? They're all the fuel to these things, right? For example, your little sons are fuel for the prison industrial complex to make billions of dollars every year. Your children in elementary school are also fuel for the failing public school systems to make billions of dollars every year. Your child gets educated or not educated, they still make their money. Your young sons become fuel for the NCAA to make billions of dollars every year. Your attention and your fear is fuel for CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News to make billions of dollars just getting you to watch so they can sell that attention to a corporation in exchange for billions of dollars in corporate sponsorships, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that, you got to make a move. What is your next move going to be, right? Feel the fear and you do it anyway. So you feel the fear, you internalize it, you say, damn, okay, I got to be careful. I don't want to get sick. I want to wear my mask. But don't ever get caught sitting still, because when you sit still, that makes you easy prey. Chances are you're going to get slaughtered if you sit still. So what is your move? Intelligent boss moves. That was the term I used for that Dame Dash class, but I think that's appropriate for what we're talking about right now. And by the way, all the stuff me and Dame did is still available if you want to go take a look. It's at intelligentbossmoves.com. And this is actually this CEO shirt is actually part of his brand. I think it's a brand called CEO or something. And I bought this shirt actually years before we became friends, but I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I like the idea of being a boss. I think that's really cool. So anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button before you go. I want to remind you that as a service to the community, for those of you that are trying to figure out how to educate your kids at home, we have free homeschool training sessions every Thursday. Every Thursday, Noma Langa Mushali Moses, who lives in South Africa, but she was married to an American man, and so she understands American culture very well. She does homeschool training for parents that are trying to figure out ways to educate your kids. I think it's okay to keep your kids at home at least half the day during the fall and maybe forever. And so if you want to learn more about her strategies and the tools and tips and everything that she does to educate her kids, you can go to theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com and register. That's theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com, theblackHomeschoolNetwork.com. Please write that down. Also, number two, we are building a black movie industry. I'm tired of celebrities masquerading as black leaders. That can't be the case because celebrities are too compromised. But maybe they won't be so compromised if we have a black-owned movie industry that competes with the racism that comes out of Hollywood. Where everything you say is considered anti-Semitic or whatever, all this other stupid crap, right? So we're building our own, and that starts with Black Movie Night, where we are highlighting black film directors at least once a month, maybe more, and we're making major blackbuster deals with black filmmakers, with black directors and producers all over the country, with actors and actresses. So if you'd like to join us to watch the film Black Friday, the remix, for free, Rick Mathis, a director out of Atlanta, is going to join us on the 23rd of July. You can go register right now at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. In order for an industry to grow, you need at least three things. You need a market for capital, meaning you need something to finance the films. Then you need a market for contractors, which means you need a production process to produce the films. And then you need a market for consumers, which means you need people that are willing to pay money to see the films, right? And then you invest your money, you get a return on investment, then you can go back, you can make more movies, and the movies get bigger and bigger. And I went to Atlanta. I went on a diplomatic mission to Atlanta 2 weeks ago. I met up with Jay Morrison. We've already talked about finding millions of dollars to fund black-owned movies. I also met with Rick Mathis, and we talked about a film studio that they're building in Atlanta. So we are making these moves, and these are not Tyler Perry moves. God bless Tyler Perry, but this is a little bit different. Ain't nobody gonna be wearing Medea dresses in this particular space. We're actually trying to do it in a way that's a little bit more authentic to what people like you and I represent, intelligent black people. So if you're interested in joining us for Black Movie Night to watch the film Black Friday, the remix is very, very good. David Banner's in the film. Chuck D's in the film. This weird, annoying guy named Boyce Watkins is in the film. A bunch of other people are in the film. I think Judge Toller might be in there, and a few other people. It's a really great movie, so feel free to check it out. Register now at blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. Last but not least, on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, man, we got so much stuff happening. And this isn't free, but it's definitely worth 10 times more than the investment. But my option investing masterclass takes place Wednesday night. So if you're interested in learning how to add stock options to your portfolio, which is a way to earn income from your portfolio, so you don't just have to own the stocks and sit there, you can actually make money from it while you have it and make other interesting moves. Feel free to join us for Options Investing Masterclass. You can go to drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. I know that was a mouthful. I gave you guys a whole lot, but I just want you guys to know I lay all this out there so you know that we're making moves. We're not sitting still. You give me a toothpick and a napkin, I'm gonna find a way to build a house, right? Because I believe that we can do anything we want. Somebody mentioned Byron Allen in there. Byron Allen, he's a good guy, but I don't know the guy. He's got a bunch of money. He's welcome to participate and support all this. But honestly, I believe that grassroots building in the black community is going to be harder to do. It takes smarter, more determined people. And I believe we have the determination to do that. I believe we have the intelligence. I know how smart I am. And I don't think that the Hollywood types are the ones who are going to help lead that charge. There is something special you gain from learning how to make $1 out of 15 cents. There's something special that I know I gained by bootstrapping my entire business with literally nothing. There's no white man who ever came through and wrote a big check to say, okay, here's $100 million, go take over the world. I wish I'd had that. I looked for that. I was applying for things and none of it came through. So the fact that we were able to bootstrap off of almost nothing and build an empire now that is now influencing the world means that we are, all of us together, you and I working together on this, we are the talented 10th. We are the leaders for the next generation. We are the chosen people in so many ways. We are the ones who have that ability to move a fucking mountain, and we are unstoppable. So I'm excited about who we are and where we are, and I don't sit back and hate on people that are mainstream. I don't hate on people that are in Hollywood. I don't hate on the fact that somebody got a bunch of money from a bank, because I feel that what God gave us, the talent God gave us as descendants of the Black Holocaust, and the fact that we survived all of that, and then now we're building all of this, I think that gives us something that money came back. So that's how great I'm feeling this morning. I hope you're feeling great with me, because I'm gonna tell you what, every single day that I live on this earth, I feel blacker and prouder every day. And And I no longer feel like I'm playing for the losing team. Now we are the team that was the losing team who kept building a team. Now we're the winning team, and this is all ours. And if you think that what we've done in the last decade is extraordinary, just wait till you see what we have by the year 2030. By the year 2030, we're going to be doing billion-dollar projects. Watch us work. So anyway, take care, guys. Have a good day. It was fun hanging out with you. My Instagram is @TheRealBoyceWatkins. Feel free to follow me there. Also follow the Black Financial Channel on Instagram as well. And I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. Love you, and thanks for listening. See you soon. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV. Here we are.